Imagine sitting across from someone who seems charming, intelligent, and utterly normal. They smile, make small talk, and you feel an instant sense of ease. But beneath the surface, there's a mind that operates in a completely different way from yours. Psychologists call this type of mind psychopathic, a term that often conjures images of violent criminals. Yet, not all psychopaths commit crimes. Some live seemingly normal lives, blending seamlessly into society. So what truly separates a psychopath from a normal person, and how can you recognize the subtle signs before it's too late? At the core, the difference lies in empathy. Normal humans experience emotional resonance. When someone suffers, we feel a mirrored emotion. We instinctively understand fear, sadness, or joy in others. Psychopaths, however, lack this deep emotional connection. They can intellectually recognize emotions in others, but it does not stir anything within them. This absence of empathy is not a flaw. It's a structural divergence in the way their brain processes feelings. The amygdala, a part of the brain involved in emotional regulation, often shows differences in psychopaths, leading to diminished emotional responses. But the distinction doesn't stop there. Psychopaths often exhibit exceptional charm and confidence. They are skilled manipulators, capable of influencing others without guilt or remorse, while a normal person might hesitate or feel discomfort. When deceiving someone, a psychopath experiences no such conflict. They approach social interactions as a game, calculating each move to achieve maximum benefit. This makes them fascinating yet potentially dangerous individuals. Impulsivity and risk-taking are also hallmarks of psychopathic behavior. A normal person tends to weigh consequences and consider the impact of actions on themselves and others. Psychopaths, in contrast, may act recklessly, undeterred by potential consequences. This behavior can manifest as thrill-seeking, financial risk-taking, or even criminal activity. But it can also explain why some psychopaths succeed in high stakes. Environments like business, politics, or law enforcement, they can take risks that most people would avoid without fear holding them back. Another key difference lies in moral reasoning. Normal humans often experience guilt or remorse when they violate social norms or hurt others, even unintentionally. Psychopaths may understand these norms cognitively, but do not internalize them emotionally. A normal person's conscience acts as a guiding compass. A psychopath's moral map is flexible, self-serving, and entirely utilitarian. This fundamental divergence shapes their decisions and social interactions in profound ways. Subtle signs can sometimes reveal psychopathic tendencies. Look for superficial charm that feels too polished, a lack of genuine emotional depth, and an uncanny ability to manipulate conversations to their advantage. Pay attention to inconsistencies in their stories, impulsive choices that disregard risks, and an unsettling ease in causing discomfort or fear. These are not always obvious, and many psychopaths can hide behind charisma and intelligence, making early detection difficult. Understanding these differences is not merely academic, it has practical implications. Recognizing psychopathic traits can help you navigate relationships, protect yourself from manipulation, and better comprehend the spectrum of human behavior. Normal and psychopathic minds process the world differently, and this divergence often explains conflicts, betrayals, and sometimes even tragedy in personal and professional relationships. In short, while both psychopaths and normal humans navigate the same social environment, their internal wiring, emotional responses, and decision-making processes set them apart in ways that can be subtle, fascinating, and occasionally dangerous. To truly understand the difference between psychopaths and normal individuals, it helps to observe real-life behavioral patterns. Normal people typically form relationships based on trust, mutual respect, and shared emotional experiences. Psychopaths, however, often view relationships as strategic tools. They can feign intimacy, charm their way into hearts, and then exploit trust for personal gain. This doesn't always involve criminal intent, Sometimes it's subtle manipulation in the workplace or social circles. Consider how psychopaths handle stress. A normal person might show anxiety, seek support, or feel guilt after making a mistake. A psychopath, however, often appears unnervingly calm. This emotional detachment allows them to make calculated decisions under pressure, a trait that can make them successful in high-stakes professions but also terrifying when used unethically. Their lack of emotional inhibition often manifests as cold pragmatism or daring risk-taking. Studies have shown that psychopaths can excel in environments that reward confidence, charisma, and decisive action. CEOs, politicians, and negotiators sometimes display psychopathic traits without being criminals. Their ability to remain emotionally detached, manipulate social dynamics, and take bold risks can create extraordinary success. Yet these same traits, when unchecked, can lead to exploitation, betrayal, and harm to those around them. Let's look at subtle cues that differentiate the two. Normal individuals typically show remorse when causing harm, even accidentally. Psychopaths often rationalize or dismiss the consequences of their actions. While a normal person may avoid lying due to guilt or social conscience, a psychopath lies fluidly, without hesitation or emotional discomfort. Their actions are guided by strategy and self-interest, rather than empathy or morality. A fascinating aspect is their emotional mimicry. Psychopaths can imitate emotional reactions convincingly, making it difficult for others to discern their true feelings. They might laugh at appropriate times, feign sympathy, or show anger when socially expected, but these responses are calculated rather than genuine. For normal people, emotions are experienced first and expressed naturally. For psychopaths, expression often precedes experience. Impulse control further separates these two groups. Normal humans generally pause to consider social consequences. Psychopaths may bypass such reflection entirely. This can manifest as impulsive decisions, thrill-seeking behaviors, or breaking social rules without hesitation. While sometimes thrilling or even advantageous in competitive fields, unchecked impulsivity can also lead to criminal or destructive behavior. Another key difference lies in long-term planning. Psychopaths are often master strategists, plotting outcomes months or years in advance with meticulous attention to personal gain. Normal individuals might plan for the future but usually incorporate moral, social, and emotional considerations. A psychopath's strategic thinking is almost purely utilitarian, prioritizing results over relationships or ethical constraints. Let's not forget empathy in social contexts. Normal people instinctively detect discomfort in others, offering comfort or adjusting behavior accordingly. Psychopaths can notice the same cues but are unaffected emotionally. They might manipulate, fear, exploit insecurity, or simply ignore others' distress. This difference explains why some psychopaths are capable of cruelty without remorse, and why their charm can mask underlying predatory tendencies. Real-life examples make these contrasts vivid. Take a corporate executive who climbs the ladder, not through merit alone, but by manipulating colleagues, taking credit for others' work, and maintaining a facade of affability. To outsiders, they appear confident and successful. To insiders, the pattern of manipulation and emotional detachment is unmistakable. In a different scenario, a charming individual may lure friends into risky situations, seemingly without reason, but their motivation is hidden self-interest. Psychological research also highlights differences in moral reasoning. Normal humans often internalize societal rules. They feel guilt, shame, or pride based on behavior. Psychopaths, by contrast, view rules as flexible tools. Breaking them carries no emotional burden unless practical consequences arise. This cognitive emotional dissonance explains how a psychopath can commit acts that would devastate a normal person emotionally, yet remain unfazed. Recognizing these distinctions is not just academic. It is crucial for personal safety, workplace dynamics, and understanding human behavior. While not every psychopath is violent, their presence can subtly disrupt relationships, exploit vulnerabilities, and challenge social norms. Conversely, understanding psychopathic traits can help normal individuals navigate complex social landscapes, avoid manipulation, and make informed decisions about trust. In conclusion, the difference between psychopaths and normal humans lies in the intersection of emotion, morality, and behavior. Empathy, remorse, emotional resonance, impulse control, and moral internalization guide normal behavior. Psychopaths, however, operate with detachment, calculated charm, and strategic manipulation. Recognizing these patterns is key to understanding human nature, protecting oneself, and navigating a world where not everyone experiences reality the way we do.